There have been two rulings that came down regarding President Trump's tax returns. Two different results. For people who missed the first one, just tell us what we've got, Paul.
Okay, so the two cases are down, handled separately. Actually, Robin, the results are not so dissimilar. There are some parallels here. The first case, Trump versus Vance, basically says in a criminal prosecution where the Southern District of New York office wants the president's tax returns and financial information. The answer is the president is not above the law. He has to turn them over, except because the arguments he placed forth were, I'm the president, I don't have to do this. The Supreme Court said, you know, you are a special person, but you're like any other person in terms of you do at least get to make arguments to prevent yourself from turning them over. We just haven't heard what those are. So they send the case back to the district court to say, okay, President Trump, come up with something besides I'm the president and I don't have to do this, which means we won't see those taxes in any way in that case until after the election, which is the political piece of this. In the case that just got handed down moments ago, which is Trump versus Mazars, USA, those are the folks who hold the president's tax returns. That's where they were trying to get them. This was three democratically controlled congressional committees who said we want the president's taxes because we're looking to make law about presidential disclosures and what we need to know from presidents going forward. It impacts the law we make. It's our legislative function. So we want the president's tax returns to find out and help us craft laws, craft procedures going forward. That's the argument. The president said, you're harassing me. Your job is just to make laws and essentially leave me out of it. Supreme Court steps in, and again 7-2. Both of these decisions 7-2. Liberals and conservatives joining. The two that didn't are two conservatives, Thomas and Alito. But other than that, conservatives and liberals joining, and in this case the same thing. Basically saying, Congress, you are entitled to the president's tax returns, but you have to have a legitimate legislative purpose. Here, your request is sweeping. It's broad. You've asked for it all, and you might not be entitled to it all. So once again, we're going to send it back and have the purposes of Congress better specified. And Mr. President, you can't, there was no claim of executive privilege here. You can't just claim I'm not allowed to be harassed as the president by Congress. They have a job to do. Essentially, we're going to let both of you sides try this again with specific arguments that anybody might make in a case like this. Politically, what it means, no Trump tax returns before the November elections. Does it matter? Well, those people who think the president's hiding something anyway are not about to have their opinions changed. Those people who really don't care about the president's tax returns will not have any new evidence upon which to evaluate or in any way change that position.
All right, Paul, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks,
we
Paul.
appreciate it.